Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast Season 5, Episode 11, Dawn of the Dead. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. I'm your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We have Raph. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Ramirez. Raph, how are you, sir?
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, dude. Next, we got Miles. What up, sucker? We're thieves and we're bad guys. That's exactly what we are, Francis. Miles, how are you, sir?
I'm good, dude. I miss malls, like, a lot. Like this just reminded me of, like, oh, yeah, those were, like, a really great place before, you know, Amazon and whatever, but...
I literally just bought something off Amazon. That's crazy. Next, we got David. We got this, man. We got this by the ass. Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Oh, well, okay. Well, hopefully this conversation will make you even better. And finally, we got Crux, some kind of instinct, memory of what they used to do. Crawford. Crux, how are you, sir?
What's up, man? Very happy to be here.
Hell
First
yeah.
time here.
Welcome to the party. Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, we watched Dawn of the Dead, 1978. Release date April 7th, 1979 in Dallas, and April 13, 1979 in the rest of the United States. Don't know why it says it came out in 1978 then. Running time, 126 minutes with a budget of 640,000. Box office, 66 million. Holy
Damn.
shit.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That's insane. All right, synopsis. During an escalating zombie epidemic, two Philadelphia SWAT team members, a traffic reporter, and his TV executive girlfriend seek refuge in a secluded shopping mall. Let's watch a trailer. We're not going to watch the whole thing because it is a long one. Let me see if I can learn how to share fucking screen like always. All right, here we go. Here we go. Trailer time. Y'all see that?
Yep.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh, that he
It
did.
became the classic horror film of its time.
Vincent Price.
Oh, I forgot to get the exploding head from the
Now,
beginning on the
George
clips.
Romero
Oh, I
brings
fucked up
us
so
the
bad.
most intensely shocking motion
That is one of
picture
the best
experience
shots.
for all times.
It gets up and kills. The people it kills get up and kill. This situation must
Actually,
be
Did you
that-
deduct
before
that head
it's
was
too
actually
late.
originally
They are
for a different
multiplying
ending
too
and they got
rapidly.
repurposed?
Dawn
Is that true?
of the Dead.
That's what I read.
Oh, man, that would have been awesome.
Apparently, in the original, the reporter couples were gonna get gruesomely killed, and like one of them was gonna get their head chopped up in the helicopter blades.
Uh-huh.
They created that head for that, but then George A. Romero decided that was too dark of an ending for like the comic book style this had, and so they changed it up. And Savini was like, "Well, dude, I've made this. We're gonna use it for something," and they put in that shotgun blast at the beginning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dawn of the Dead is here.
Dawn of the Dead.
You must not be low.
All right, that's good enough for the trailer. All right, let's talk
How about
history with the
the voice-
movie. I'm going to begin. I watched this movie because we had a VHS tape of it, and it was wonderful because in the front of it, it said, when there's no more room in the hell, the dead will walk the earth, or whatever the quote is. And it was like this Technicolor VHS tape, and my brother had it, and I always wanted to watch it, but I was always too afraid to. So when I finally watched Night of the Living Dead, which was really my first horror movie that really introduced me to the genre, I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I knew that the film had been made in Monroeville Mall, which was about an hour and a half from where I grew up. And so I was very excited about that.
Have you ever been to that mall?
Yes, I actually did a zombie walk in that mall, and I have pictures to show you of it. Woo! which
Very
I'll show
cool.
you here in a little bit. But yeah, I did the zombie walk in the mall. It was totally cool. I watched the movie. I love this movie. I put this movie probably in my top 5 favorite movies of all time, to be honest with you. I just absolutely adore this film. It's a long watch, but it's a good one. So there's just so much going on in this, and I just love how, like, the mall is so dangerous and treacherous to them, and they're in that little corner of it, up in the stairwell and shit like that. I love the way this movie just kind of shows you, like, how dangerous everything is. And even though they walk super slow, they're treacherous as hell. All right, Crux, you picked the movie. What's your history with it?
My history of it is, so the first Romero movie that I watched as a kid, it was on video cassette, and it was the remake of the original Night of the Living Dead, the one that came out in 1990. I think my dad got it or something. And luckily he was a bad parent, so I watched it. So that was pretty cool to have that privilege. And then so I liked zombie movies from the beginning because they kind of scared me, but it wasn't enough to, like, keep me away. So then years later, I watched actually the remake of this one. I watched the remake, the 2006 or whatever, Dawn of the Dead. And I really liked it. And I was like, you know what? I really want to see the original because I knew it was a remake. So I was like, let me watch the original. So very shortly after I watched the remake with all the fast zombies and everything, I watched this one all the way through. So I want to say that was like, like 06 or something like that, so I've always loved all the Romero zombie series, always been a big fan. And I really wanted to see the original of this. I also love, anyway, I'm not going to get into the themes and stuff. That's my history with it. I don't want to go overboard.
Right on, dude. All right, Raph, you ever seen this before?
So let me paint the picture.
Oh, all right.
It's Monday, February 20, 2023.
Yeah.
No, that's the first time I've seen it. I've never seen this. I honestly thought I had seen it before, but I guess I was thinking of Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Because I had never seen this film. And literally, from the fucking first scene, again, the shotgun through the fucking brain, I was hooked. I was like, no way. And they use so much gore in the beginning. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I went in there not knowing. I didn't even expect it to be like the remake. It just blew my mind. Yeah. Today was the first time I saw it, and I could not take my eyes off of it.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I'm happy to hear that. So you have a lot of good things to say. Miles, have you seen it before?
Oh yeah, dude. This is one of those. I can't really tell you the first time I saw it, just because it was just always part of that VHS like tape collection. I don't know. It's probably from Blockbuster, or maybe like an uncle or cousin had it or something. But like, this is one of those that I've just seen for as long as I can remember watching movies.
Right on, David. You're sitting there so quiet. I'm curious. Have you seen it before, and do you like it?
So, here's the thing, kids. No, first of all, I loved it. I still love it.
Okay.
I'm a lot older than y'all, and I grew up in a small town, and our movie theaters did not show movies like this. There was a huge pushback. This movie was very controversial when it came out. It was not a big release, but man, this was pre-internet back in the 70s. This was one of those word of mouth movies, kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where the word of mouth on the playground was, you have no idea how fucking gory this movie is and how scary it is. And so I didn't get to see, and it was one of those movies they replayed at drive-ins all the time. So after it left the theater, it would pop up in drive-in movie theaters. And it was like, because in 78, I was, I don't know, about 10 years old. But it was one of those movies that teenagers would go see. And so I had always heard about it. I didn't get to see it until I got a job at a video store in the late 80s. And I finally got to watch it, and I was still blown away, even though it was, I mean, the acting is, there's some, acting is kind of bad. It's super low budget, but dude, the gore, like right from the very beginning, it's just, right there in front of you. And it's awesome, man. Fucking love it. But yeah, it was one of those movies, man, where it was like, they had this lore to it growing up,
Yeah. I think that the whole franchise does, especially the first two movies. People kind of shit on Day of the Dead a little bit. When Land of the Dead came out in 2005, I was super pumped. I went to theaters to see that shit. Like, I was like, let's go. You know what I mean? But I think that this one is probably I don't know. It's hard to say whether this one's the best one or Night of the Living Dead is the best one, because Night of the Living Dead is so fucking good. So, I don't know. We maybe decide.
I think this one's better. It's just
A lot
that
better.
One, that one just did more in terms of like pushing like the genre forward and whatnot. But they both like were really, the cool thing is they both take like huge like stabs or like takes on like the sociopolitics of the time.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of makes these zombie movies way more interesting than a lot of zombie movies, because it's not really about like the monsters as much as it is like the fact that it's still almost human, but there's just the lack of humanity.
Yeah, and I mean, well, let's get into talking about it. Yeah, consumerism is bad. that's the whole point of the movie, right? Like, we're all zombies and going to malls and shopping for shit we don't need, and whether you're dead or not, like, you're still going to go shopping. So, I mean, Romero is quoted as saying, making this movie was as easy as falling off a log. Like, and I don't know what that means exactly, but, like, I guess he doesn't really remember making the movie, but, like, he does. But, yeah, it's consumerism is bad. It's basically it. Just like the first one is racism is bad. You know what I mean? So, and then the third one, military is bad. So it's always got a story behind it. So I love this movie. Ken Foree fucking kills it. Go ahead, Raph.
That's funny that you said consumerism is bad when there was so much product placement in this fucking
Yeah,
movie.
dude, that's the point. It's supposed to be tongue in cheek. It's very, it's very like saying like, listen, you need to get your shit together, and these malls are bad things for us. So, and he wasn't wrong. Ken Foree, the reason I bring him up, I love Ken Foree because he is just a king of horror movies. You know what I mean? He's been in so many of them, and he was also on Kenan and Kel. I don't know if you guys remember that. He was the father in that show.
No joke.
Yeah, so
that's great.
I'm going to share the shirt if I have it. Let's see if I can find it. I could have swore I put it on the desktop here. I must have deleted it. I'll send it to you guys later. But basically, whenever I went to see him, I made a shirt that had a zombie on it, had Leatherface on it, and had Kel on it from Kenan and Kel, and they were all in my crosshairs. And he thought that was hilarious. So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Tom Savini kills it with the gore, even though the gore effects kind of look like paint.
Yeah, the red is kind of cartoony.
It's kind of cartoony.
So I got the impression, and I didn't see there was like any hostility or anything, but I definitely got the impression that like George's like Romero's vision and Tom Savini's vision were very different, because like Romero wanted this to be like a comic book. So the fact that the blood came out kind of neon, that like pissed Savini off. Like when he talked, like you can even see him on like those talking head shows that he does now. If like he's ever talking about this movie, he's like, it was pink. I hate it. It was pink. But Romero is like, it's perfect because it's so vibrant and it stands out, and it looks like again, if you're like flipping through the pages of a comic book, like speed reading it, that's what portions of the zombie scenes look like.
Yeah, and the zombie makeup is literally just blue makeup on people. Like, the first movie didn't really have zombie makeup. This one has blue. The third movie gets better zombie effects.
It's the difference between having to go from black and white to color. They had never done this shit in color before.
Yeah.
So, like,
you think maybe they did that in that kind of hue to kind of make it extra, like a materialism kind of statement, where it's kind of like, oh, they kind of look like they have makeup on.
Oh,
yeah. Sponsored by the Smurfs, dude. There's a children's cartoon and a whole cereal campaign that went along with this.
I just didn't like how.
I'm just kidding.
I just didn't like how the black zombies had white face on them. It was totally white. It wasn't.
Well, you have to understand, man. Romero was ahead of his time. Like, for example, the black zombies were in whiteface. But also, I don't know if you very little known fact, when Ducky was rattling off that quote that Romero said when he's like, "It was as easy as falling off a wall," that was actually a misquote. He actually meant it's as easy as building a wall. He was actually he was a Trump supporter even way back then.
It was falling off a log, not building a wall.
Very little known fact.
Let me ask you a question about Romero, because I know Jay talked to me about this. Not a good director.
I think he's.
If you look at his body of work, how many good movies has he really done? Or was it just he stumbled into a really cool genre and had a really cool style about it and had a really cool message behind it? Because between this and Night of the Living Dead, which I think are amazing, was there anything else? Am I missing something?
Creepshow, Monkey Shines, Bruisers.
Oh, don't say Monkey Shines, bro.
You don't like Monkey Shines?
Monkey Shines is fucking awful. Creepshow is thumbs up for me. Love Creepshow. Yeah, love Creepshow. Yeah. Monkey Shines is trash.
I saw the
But-
movie when I was 5, and I thought it was amazing. So
Oh,
that,
there you
that
go.
might be why.
I love the Family Guy monkey shines take when he's like posing at the red carpet. That's pretty funny. Sorry, David.
No, it's okay. But then, like as
the
his career went
Crazies.
on, and now it's so funny you mentioned that, Duck. I just watched the remake the other night, which I absolutely love.
He did
Absolutely
the
love that
original,
remake. Yeah.
Watch that.
Martin's another
Martin.
good one that he did. So he did. I think he's kind of a hit and miss director because, like,
Yeah,
for
well,
every
a lot
Night
of them
the
are,
Dead,
yeah.
you get a Monkey Shines, and Monkey Shines is ridiculous. It really is, but it's a fun watch. And that's the thing is, like, even the movie Bruisers, which came out in like '98, it's not good, but it's a interesting watch. And hopefully someday we'll watch it on the cast here and talk about it. But like, I think he's just very hit and miss, and he always had that very independent filmmaker kind of thing, even though he worked within the studio system. I would say all the Land of the Night of the Living Dead movies up to Diary of the Dead are pretty good, but once you get to Diary of the Dead and its sequel, I can't remember its name, it kind of falls off the hill. So
I think it's Blog of the Dead.
Yeah. It's just George's top 8 on MySpace.
You'll get unfollowed.
What was the one he did with the famous actor? Oh my God, it's so dumb. He was it the one where they're in the condominium?
Yeah, I think that's Bruisers, isn't it?
No, it was the actor who was in Blue Velvet. What the fuck?
I'm not sure. I am not sure.
Oh my God, I'm such a bad film person.
If Jay was here, he'd be like, "It was
We
Boom
need
Boom
Jay.
Boom,
Yeah.
came out on this
Boom,
date,
Boom, came
got
out on this
released on
date.
this date."
The actor's birthday is...
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's not even untrue. He would probably know that, dude.
Yeah, he probably does. That's
some
such a
crazy
weird
shit.
thing he does.
So let's talk about the racism undertone, if it's even an undertone, because
It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's
not really
whenever
undertone.
whenever you
Rusty.
open up and you got that guy who's going into the building, he's like nothing but Puerto Ricans and N-words in there. And I was
So
like,
I know.
I was
I
gonna
was
say,
like,
I was
whoa.
saying, yeah, it's Puerto Rican niggers. That's what he said.
Yeah,
it was
like,
not cool.
I was like, whoa, dude. I was like, that's insane.
There
Raph.
is
and
an
I'm thinking
R
that right now for you, Raph.
syllable or R sound in that word that just makes me super uncomfortable
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
white
yeah,
person.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of white people came out of there. There was no Puerto Ricans there.
That was the thing. Did you notice the one Puerto Rican guy was just a white guy in brown face?
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Pretty
So
bad.
he wasn't a
Classic
zombie?
70s.
Wasn't
He's
a
probably
zombie.
running for like Republican governor somewhere right now.
Oh my god. But yeah, like that whole opening where they're going down into the building and like going room to room, and then the one guy, the racist guy, goes crazy and just starts shooting people, and he blows up that head. That was awesome. But like the whole scene, what were they doing? It was like there was a gang in there or something. I
A
wasn't really
raid. It was a raid, and there were zombies apparently, but I don't understand why the rookie cop got shot first. He's the first one to die with a headshot.
Yeah.
When they were out on the roof, it was perfect. That's when I was like, oh my gosh, this movie's awesome. And then that guy goes crazy and he starts blowing everybody. I think he even blew the old lady's head off, right?
Yeah, it was a guy or a lady. I can't remember. Yeah.
It was so fast. Everything was happening so fast. I
And
was just
that's the
loving it.
thing is this movie's a kind of a transitional movie. While it looks slow now, back in '78, I bet you this looked fast paced as shit. Like this was how the Dawn of the Dead remake kind of feels like with the running zombies and stuff like that. Because so much happens.
Honestly, I do feel like watching it today. That's one of the things that's a little weird about this movie is the pacing, because this movie will go at a snail's pace for a while, and then everything happens.
Yeah.
And then it just nothing for what seems like ever, and then a fucking biker gang shows up. Like it's like basically it's either everything or nothing at all points.
And I think that's important to telling the story because you get a feeling of how long they've been in the mall by the pacing of it, and that's the time passing is a very important thing, especially after what's his name, Roger dies. Showing like they still keep on living in the mall for months and months and months, and showing that she's pregnant gives you a perfect timeline of how long they've been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool technique. David, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, if you remember in the beginning when they're having that conversation with the doctor or whoever he is, in the news reporter, he talks about the special National Guards going in and like cleaning out areas, and so that's what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
And the Martinez guy was like, he was the leader of the block, and he was like, just come on out, man, come on out, you know. So that's what they're doing. They're cleaning up blocks and shit like that.
I like how they kind of give up on it too. They're like, we got to get out of here. This is kind of pointless because we got to do something. And I don't know how Roger knew Flyboy, but there was some kind of relationship there because he was waiting for him at the thing to fly him off. But like when they see the mall, the other thing I took in was malls were relatively new, I believe, in 1978.
Yes.
So that like they're like, what is that?
They had been around for 20. I looked this up. Malls were invented in the 50s, but they were at the height of their popularity in the 80s. So like they were kind of like revved up at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was curious about. I was like, were they kind of new at the time? Like that's kind of a unique, you know.
What was fascinating to me, dude, is even looking at this mall, which is now literally 50 years old at the time that it's shot, it still looks really comparable to what we know as a mall today. Like they're I mean,
you
obviously
have the
there are
anchors.
differences.
You got to have the anchors on both
Yeah.
ends, and that was I forget because I wrote a horror movie about my children of day that takes place in a mall,
Oh, that's cool.
an abandoned mall, and so I did a lot of research on the development of the malls, and one of the problems was they built too many too fast.
Mm-hmm.
And because really it's a lot of people think it's Amazon that killed the malls. It really isn't. It's the overdevelopment of malls. Do you guys realize we had a Galleria right across the street from Valley View Mall for years? And then up the way there was a mall off of Beltline called Prestonwood or something like that. It was a giant
That one's
mall
like
there.
they just released a video of found like somebody went in there and explored that as it's all abandoned. Somebody just posted
I just posted that. Yeah,
That
it
was
was
you. Yeah. There you go.
They went into Valley View Mall, and it's just, and that's the thing is they built too many malls too fast, and but it's really sad because I'm a huge I love going to malls, and one of my favorite ones is now slowly dying. It's what's it called? Fucking up there. I know. Here I am again, man.
One of my favorite ones. Oh shit.
My favorite ones. Not Valley View. It's the one up there on the northwest tollway. The
North Park?
Tollway. Yeah, not North Park. It's a tollway and like park up there. Anyway, it was one of my all-time favorite malls, and you could always tell the death of a mall when the weird Asian sword store pops up.
That's how they're going to commit.
Yeah, that's when you know.
That's definitely the wrong word.
When you can walk into a mall and buy nunchucks and like Morning Stars at a store that's just for that, you know your mall is slowly dying. And yeah, man, Willow Bend, yeah.
Willow Bend,
fucking love Willow Bend. It's turning into a dead mall slowly but surely.
The Louisville Mall just shut down and stopped being a mall, and now it's labeling itself as an event center because they basically were getting more business from hosting weddings and stuff than they were from actually having tenants.
Oh, there you could shoot a horror movie there.
To apartments and stuff too now.
That's actually smart. That's actually really smart.
Yeah, like condos and townhouses and apartments and stuff.
Holy shit!
That's actually cool. That's very smart, because housing is so expensive.
Gifts, yeah.
Haunted by the ghost of Hot Topic in your apartment.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it funny? Like, what if there's a Hot Topic in that mall where they filmed this movie now with shirts? They sell shirts of this movie.
That would be amazing.
Back then, probably had no idea that was going to be happening in the future.
Well, there is a store called Monroeville Zombies, which is a comic book store that actually was in the Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
I literally just watched that like 4 days ago.
Randomly, so the name of the hockey team is the Monroeville Zombies, and you can actually buy the T-shirt or whatever you want. But here's the kicker: the Monroeville Mall is not the original mall you see in the movie. They tore it down in the '80s and built a new one. Ain't that a bitch? But we still zombie walk through that motherfucker, so it don't matter.
Going back to the time thing that you were talking about, where like all the time passes and all that stuff. Another thing that I love about this one compared to the remake, if any of you guys have seen it, is the media and the news stations. They constantly keep in touch with that whole relationship with how like the media, like the professional face of the media deteriorates over time too in this original movie, as opposed to the newer one where they don't really spend a lot of time on it. They just talk about like, oh, we don't know where they came from. We don't really know what's going on, etc. But in this one, there's like the official kind of broadcasting in the beginning, and then it goes to just them going, I don't fucking know. Fuck you, man. Who are you? Like, everything just totally breaks down. That's so great. That's what I love about this movie.
You got the guy with the eye patch.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck
was that
is
a
he
character
talking
trait, or was that an on-set accident that just like they had to go with? Like,
It was great.
somebody got a little aggressive with the boom, and now it's like, well, your dude's wearing an eye patch. Sorry, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like that they show that, like, the scene where the wife character or whatever, the girlfriend character, turns off the TV because she's sick of it, and then he gets up and defiantly turns it back on. And Flyboy is such a fucking puss. Like, there's no way not to hate him in this movie, but like, I kind of like him because he looks like Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore.
There's no way not to hate him, but I do kind of like.
I like him because he looks like Shooter McGavin. The whole time I'm sitting there watching, he's like, "I eat pieces of shit like you in the morning."
You eat pieces of shit in the morning, Doug?
Yeah, I know. But he's kind of shown to be the pussy character because he can't shoot a gun worth shit. You know what I mean? He's always making mistakes. He's always fucking up stuff for the other characters. And, but he's my favorite zombie, hands down. The way he looks when he comes out with that crooked leg and the gun hanging off his pinky, I'm like, give me an action figure of that shit. That is so cool looking. Like, he steals the show when he goes zombie mode.
He comes out of the elevator, and that's when you're like, "Oh my gosh!" It was a great reveal because the elevator opens slowly, and then you see how fucked up he is. His legs sideways, the gun. It was a great reveal.
Oh yeah, he kills it. That and Roger, whenever he wakes up from being dead, you know what I mean? Like, it wakes up from being dead. I love that.
I don't know. Yeah,
but he's so cool because he's like, I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna try not to come back. I'm not gonna try not to come back. And then just that slow lowering of the blanket is such a great shot, you know what I mean? And then he starts jerking off. That part was weird. Here you go. I'm gonna have to throw this real quick. He wants to play. The racism aspect of it, like I was talking about, I like how it's kind of on the face, but then like in the group, it's kind of dealt with in a very subtle way. You know what I mean? Like when she,
subtle?
Well, she says, do you have brothers like on the street or like actual brothers? And I'm like, holy shit! But it doesn't go much more extreme than that, I don't think. Do you think it does, Raph?
Well, I thought you were talking about when Wally got his chest blown out. Because I was like, that's not subtle at all. But that's what I thought you meant. That's
the opposite of subtle, bro.
The cops were handling the racism within themselves. But that was insane. When I saw them blow Wally's chest out, and then when she was talking to him about brothers, I thought she was just trying to fuck. Because she was like, how many brothers? like brothers? Like,
this is the point where this movie became a porn for Raph.
Like a man did go situation.
Somebody shows up with a pepperoni pizza, extra sausage, yeah.
Well, I really like the scene in the beginning where the white comic, sorry.
Said the N-word? Yeah, I heard that part.
White cop.
He was from Austin,
He shows up in the what do you call it, the basement, and the big old black dude's there, and he's like, he basically tell him, I didn't see anything, because the black guy had just wasted the white cop, and so he's just like, hey man, we're cool, I didn't see anything.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
And
I missed
they became best friends.
Yeah.
I totally missed that.
Yeah, so the crazy racist cop was shooting everyone, and then the black cop blew him away.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then they showed up in the basement, and the white cop was like, hey man, we're cool. I didn't see anything. I didn't see how he died.
Yeah.
That's when Peter asked Roger, were you part of Wally's crew?
Yeah.
And that's when that's when Roger's like, I didn't see shit, bro.
I'm good. Hey, he deserved it, so we're cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty awesome the way he went out too. It would have been better if his head exploded too. The screwdriver into the ear. That is not in the theatrical version. That is only in the unrated version. So that's why I want to send that out to you guys. And then my favorite, hands down, my favorite thing is the blood pressure cuff. Why did that motherfucker run back to get his hand in there? Mm-hmm. It made no sense, just to show us
pretty weird.
His arm getting ripped off.
Basically, it was Tom Savini had come up with 4,000 ways to kill somebody, and was like, we got to do this shot.
That's kind of true. Like, I think they gave him like carte blanche on like what he was going to do there. So, oh my god.
And then he's like, in the third act, I'm coming out on a motorcycle with a sword.
Yeah. It's happening. Oh, I love whenever the zombie stands up in the helicopter blades too and gets.
That's really cool.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
I've seen that happen in real life on Reddit. So yeah, they did a pretty good
Oh my
job.
god, did you really?
No.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing. Some guy walked up too close to helicopter blades and got his head chopped off.
Holy fuck! Like the top of it, like the brains and everything.
It was basically he got decapitated.
Oh, dude, Reddit's a
Like,
terrible place.
was this dude like 11 foot tall? Cause how the
No,
fuck?
he was the helicopter. He was on a platform. It's just he
Okay.
walked up on a platform, wasn't paying attention.
It's all good though, man, because it was confirmed that guy was actually a racist. So
Yeah.
He just said Puerto
was good.
Ricans and N-words a minute ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He actually died while in blackface, so it's fine.
yeah, not anymore. Yeah,
I like to watch murder videos on Reddit so I can try to figure out how not to die. So
That's such a
lot of-
unique
I legit thought
reason
you were
to
about
watch
say how to
them.
get I thought
Yeah.
you were about to say how to get
People.
away with murder, and I was
No,
just like,
no,
oh, God.
no.
Lindsay, are you okay?
There's a lot of like me not working in unregulated factories in India is a great way not to die. 'Cause that's almost half the videos on there.
wow.
What's the
Good
worst
tip,
one you ever
good
saw,
tip.
David?
The worst one I ever saw is a video called Funky Town, which is it's a what do you call it? A
Like take me down
Mexican.
to Funky
I
Town.
don't know why it's called Funky Town, but it's called Funky Town. It's a Mexican cartel torturing one of their enemies, and they have peeled off the skin off his face.
Oh, yeah.
They have chopped off his legs, and they're pulling out his tongue to chop it off. They're basically torturing him alive, and so that was probably the worst thing I ever saw. That one gave me nightmares and a boner at the same time, which is weird.
Yeah.
I'm in therapy right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
See, I was gonna watch
yeah.
that, but I can't do the subtitles.
Yeah. Saying as he's peeling off his skin, I'm not getting what's his motivation here. I mean, I get it. They're a cartel. He's on another cartel. He's trying to send a message, but he's talking a lot. I need to know what he's saying to really enjoy the murder of the. Yeah, there's a lot. Like basically, two places I'll never visit are Brazil and Colombia, mostly because of Reddit. That is right there. Not going to do it. But yeah, good times.
Yeah.
The better the cocaine gets, the more deadly it becomes.
That's probably true, dude. Because
Well,
Yeah,
what's-
actually, that's a pretty good rule, I think, in general.
yeah.
The thing that's so fucked up is the invention of the iPhone has now led to us being able to watch murder videos on a daily basis. So
You
thanks,
know you don't
iPhone.
have to.
You don't have
right?
to, yeah.
Nobody's
Well, I
made
mean-
you do
You
You
that.
can watch
It's-
kittens and like doggies.
Shit
It's- I
off.
mean, I'm just saying that
Look at the
Reddit's
background. Look at that
Re-
dog throwing things.
Reddit's algorithm and Facebook's algorithm, they give them to me. I don't want to watch them.
Oh
but
yeah.
it's the it's AI. I'm blaming AI right now. It's not my fault.
You got
I
some of
get
that.
nothing but like hot alt girls on TikTok, and it's just the algorithm. It has nothing to do with my
Nope.
choices.
You might get a
Nothing to do.
bunch of fucking guys.
I'm here for science videos.
Yeah,
Well, the murder videos are kind of scientific in their own way.
Oh
No,
yeah.
no, they're not.
And I do it for art, guys. It's research on how to make creepier art.
That's true. Oh my God, dog! Please stop.
So that's good to know that you base your art on real fucking things.
Yeah, I mean, bro, why do you think I sell out? I mean, that's
Bro.
yeah, man.
All right,
So
back to the
another
movie.
s-
Back to the movie.
oh yeah, back to the movie.
Back to the
Good little
movie. Okay,
sidetrack.
that's enough of the sidetrack. So yeah,
I'm gonna go on Reddit right now and watch the murder videos.
Oh,
while
my
you guys are
God.
talking.
I was
Share
going
your
to say
screen.
the gore is immaculate, but you can't compare that to murder videos, which are real. So
No,
yeah.
Dude, is the gore immaculate? Like the
It-
gore is over. Like the gore is silly looking, if we're being honest. But it's
Yeah,
it's
it is silly looking.
stylistic and it's fun.
That's why
But
it's
I
fun.
wouldn't say that it's in any way like even pushing the boundaries that a lot of movies at this point have. Really,
I mean,
and I feel like they used
Yeah.
all their budget in the beginning because at the end there was a lot less. Like a lot less.
They ran
and
out.
like noted,
Yeah,
like
they did.
noticeably working with
I
squirts.
was like with
I-
that red fake shit.
I mean, when you get to the motorcycle gang, it's just an excuse to show gore. Like, and I like how he's like, just leave them alone. They just want them all. And then one of them shoots him, and he's like, the war is on. Like, I love that
Yeah,
switch
yeah.
that he has. And then, like I said, it's just an excuse to show blood and gore, and it's kind of fun. So, other than that,
It's definitely fun. I just don't think it's like truly like gory as much as it is like over the top comically gory.
I agree with you, and I think that that's kind of the point. Maybe to get it past the censors, he did that. Maybe for a message, he did that. Maybe it was by accident or serendipity it happened. Who knows? You know. But it is that red is definitely pink.
Yeah.
A lot of the blood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it
it's
is.
ridiculous. I've had to hide every single toy the dog has in my shirt so he won't squeak. Well, I mean, is there anything else about the movie that sticks out to you guys? Anything else that you want to talk about? No.
I like the pacing. because it gives you a chance to breathe. And I mean, most movies these days are 90 minutes tops,
Yeah.
unless you're watching Avatar. And so it was nice to see a 2 hour plus horror movie, especially horror movies are real short these days too.
Yeah, and you know me,
Um,
I hate long horror movies, but like I feel like this one's worth your time.
oh yeah, totally. He lets them breathe. He lets them,
Well, it lets you
characters
experience
develop
the
and
mall, dude. Like I
yeah.
said, like they're up in this little catty corner of it, so you get a good layout of the mall. You get an understanding of like you go down the stairs, you go through the control room, you go to the boiler room, then you get to the mall, and then these stores are here in the mall. Like you can kind of pinpoint where the stores are that they're going to at all times. Like the editing allows you to kind of understand the layout of the mall in some kind of way. You know what I mean? And the fact that they keep going back to J.C. Penney's and that's like their primary store that they're going to is kind of genius. And I like that, and then like I like that period of time where they're kind of just relaxing in the mall. The
Yeah,
3
just
months,
chilling
6
out. I
months,
mean, what
whatever
a
it is.
great. I also, as a kid watching this, as a teenager watching this, how fucking awesome would that be? There's an apocalypse,
Yeah,
but you have the mall all to yourself.
absolutely. Like if
That's
there's an
fucking
apocalypse,
awesome.
I'm going to Walmart, man. Like it's happening. You know what I mean? Or a mall.
But it's every day is a zombie apocalypse at a Walmart.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to Target. You're right. I was wrong
Yeah.
about what I said. No, Walmart. The prices are cheaper.
Remember when Black Friday used to start at dawn? That was the real dawn of the day.
Yeah.
It really
Oh,
was.
man. I got
And
some
there's
more
the
stories
fat
about
zombies too. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Anything else about the movie you guys want to talk about?
Bro, so the zombie kids.
Ah,
Peter
yes.
annihilates those fucking kids. It was the best scene.
Those were Tom Savini's niece and nephew, I believe.
No
oh,
shit.
really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Well,
per
if
the
I could-
IMDb trivia section.
Okay.
so Peter had to be my favorite because he wanted to kill everything and everyone, starting with
Yeah.
his kids, the miscarriage. He offered it. He's like, "Hey, I know what I'm doing." It was wild that he would do that. It really was. But my favorite,
That's so fucked up, Raph.
but he said it. I'm just repeating it. My favorite was the ending when he became like that black guy from The Way of the Dragon, and he just fucking started karate kicking the shit out of the zombies.
Yeah,
I was like, why the fuck were you doing that throughout the whole movie?
yeah.
He
Tom
was just
Savini
insane.
does a killer cock drop, cock drop, a drop kick, drop kick.
Version did you
Happening
watch?
right now.
Yeah, a drop kick on a zombie with, and then he machetes him. It's pretty badass. We call that the cock drop, evidently.
The X-rated version.
What else you got
But
in your list, Raph?
she was smoking enough and drinking enough wine for that miscarriage. to
Oh
happen
yeah,
anyways.
definitely. She was trying to make it happen.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
What else you got,
But
man?
all those guns and somebody picks up a sledgehammer.
Oh.
Who the fuck picks up the sledgehammer?
Dude, I love the gun shop. I love that they found that through the vent system, and then they're like, and he's like, I already saw it. I was like, right on.
Yeah.
So the bikers are stupid for opening the main door.
They're
Like,
idiots.
literally, it's so stupid.
They're just idiots in general. Like I said, who goes back to the blood pressure machine? Just like it's an arcade
sit down.
machine. And by the way,
Yeah.
when they went to the arcade, that was like classic, like barely even video arcade. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Pinball machines, bro.
Yep.
Hey,
I love pinball.
Miles, did you see any other cool stuff from IMDb trivia shit?
That
I'm too
was-
lazy to look it up.
that was the gist of it. The big ones that I thought were what was that?
That was
Nice.
somebody subscribing to us. So thank you
Hell
so much
yeah,
for the
dude.
sub.
Thanks whoever just made that noise
Yeah,
occur.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
I'm shocked that you guys heard
IMDb
that.
stuff I saw that was interesting. The blonde media woman that like the main female character. At one point, George Romero asked her to scream when the zombies came up, and she basically like they went and had a conversation. And she explained to him why she didn't think that was a good idea for her character, and he then basically never asked her to do that again throughout the rest of the production. Which I think it's pretty cool when an actor and a director have enough respect for each other that if they have conflicting visions, they can have that conversation and like basically at least come to a peaceful resolution. And the way IMDb described it is after their conversation, he was like, "Yeah, you're right. Your character wouldn't scream in that situation," and
That's cool.
Yeah, she would shed herself.
No, dude, like if you notice, she's actually, I mean, like it's the 1970s, so there's going to be an element of damsel in distress. That's why they put her in the movie. But like in terms of damsels in distress in the 1970s, she's pretty capable. It is funny that at one point a dude like mansplains to her how to gas up a helicopter, and then like 2 scenes later a guy does it and he's like, you got this. But like outside of that, she's like a highly capable like female lead in terms of the 70 standards.
Well, it's 78, so it's a year before Sigourney Weaver comes out in Alien. And so you have a movie that has a strong African American male lead and a strong female lead, which was very rare for back then. So again, it's George kind of pushing the boundaries.
Always does, man. Like in Night of the Living Dead, he cast his friend who was black just because he was the best looking and the best actor of his friends. He didn't even think about the undertones of the film whenever he made it. So
he was, and that actor was great.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Did you guys ever see the remake? I think it was directed by Tom.
Yeah,
Savini.
I was wrong on Crux. Yeah, Crux. Yeah, I said that it was Ken Foree, and it was actually Tony Todd who was in the remake. So good call.
Really?
Yeah, so good call.
I love the remake, man. It's almost like a shot for shot of the original. It's done very, very underrated.
Crux,
too,
that
man.
was the one you were talking about that you first introduced to, right?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah. Real quick, Red Nebula Pictures is the one who subscribed. Dan's in the house. Dan says, I love this Dawn of the Dead because it doesn't have a zombie baby. Oh, Dead Alive is shit good.
Okay,
So
we're going to have
about?
disagreements when we get to my recommendations, but that's all right.
That's what it's about. Raph, you got anything else on your list?
No, that's pretty much it. I love the gore. It was awesome from the beginning. I just loved it. It was awesome.
Right on. All right. Does anyone else have anything else to say about the movie itself? No.
Loved it.
All right. Well, let's go to recommendations. Going down the line. Raph, do you recommend it?
No.
All right, you son of a bitch. I know you're lying.
Of course I recommend it. I recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it, which is crazy because I hadn't seen it and that just blew my mind. I loved it. It was awesome.
Right on. Guess what I forgot to do? Hit record. Okay, that's fine. Hit record on Twitch. Miles, do you recommend it?
Is this the first thing the people on the podcast are hearing tonight?
Probably. Probably.
Yeah, dude, obviously. I think that this is one of those movies that, like, if you consider yourself a fan of horror, or if you're just curious about the horror genre, or if you're a big fan of practical effects, there's so many reasons why you should absolutely see this movie if you haven't seen this movie.
Right on. David, do you recommend it?
Yeah, it's a classic, man.
Do you feel like it reaches your artistic threshold? Because I feel like it's really a piece of art to me.
Oh yeah, totally. It has that independent film grindhouse thing. The only thing that bums me out is that I wish they would have made the gore more realistic, because I know his thought was, I want to make it look like a cartoon or a comic book, but the rest of the film doesn't have a comic book vibe to it. And so just the makeup and the gore, really, I would have loved it if it would have been like more realistic, but
it is what it is.
It's okay.
Crux,
still love it.
Do you recommend it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you want a movie that, you watch a horror movie that has like political and socioeconomic statements built in, along with just being, good old fashioned kind of zombie movie, you have that perfect combination. So yeah, absolutely.
Fuck yeah. And I recommend it also because I love this film. Like I said, it's in my top 5 of all time, next to Beauty and the Beast and Land Before Time. So that's my list. Beauty and the Beast, Land Before Time, Dawn of the Dead, right there. Boom. I just, every time I watch it, I see something new. It's like when I read Slaughterhouse 5 every 5 years, like I catch something new in that fucking book. Same thing with this movie. I just catch something new every single time I watch it, and I love it. And especially when the guy is like, we don't care for people who don't share. You really fucked up this time. And I love that part. So killer.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast.
So with that said, let's watch some clips of this bad boy. Here we go. Flyboy is the best zombie. God damn it. All right. This happens every once in a while. The clips get fucked up, so that's okay.
And then you don't record.
Yeah, no, I mean, it happens.
They kill for food.
Is it even really a podcast? If I mean, I know we don't really have listeners, but at least we still have record. But you know, this is
We had record.
They kill for one reason. They kill for food. They eat their victims. Do you understand that, Mr. Berman? That's what keeps them going.
I love the fact that like all the people in the newsroom are just like throwing shit and running up, putting up bunny ears. Like it's chaos in there, and it represents the chaos that you see outside eventually. Hey,
when he yells to the cop, "Stop that person!" and that cop's like, "Nah."
Fuck that! He grabs his coat and he bounces too. He's like, "I'm out of this bitch." Ah, it's the racist guy.
Blow all their asses off, low-life bastards. Blow all their low-life little Puerto Rican and nigger asses
All
right
right, I
off.
don't know why I quote that. I apologize.
All right, okay.
We're off Twitch.
And he's out.
I guess
So the
I'm
peop-
waiting for him to scream "Stop the steal," but he never did. It's so weird.
I also like how the Aryan looking dude is looking at him like, I think those are supposed to be my lines. I think that's what I'm
He's like, bro, you kind of look
I'd
like
really
you're
like to call
Italian.
them
What are you
that.
doing?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm curious, Jack. Where did you get this alternative January 6th footage?
I had it in my archive, nonetheless. Iconic bite. This is so epic. Right there,
This-
big old chomp.
This is the battery drop moment for me as a kid watching it.
Yeah.
This is when you knew, because it's 2 bites, and it's like right in, and it's done really well, and it looks like he's just taking a chunk out of her.
That's the sequence that Savini talks about on that In Search is it Into the Darkness or In Search of Darkness, that 3-part thing on Shudder.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
Like that scene is like his moment too. So like it's impactful for a reason.
It looks so good, dude. Like if you just do it a montage and you have that, like it's so iconic looking. I already did iconic fight. So here let's do it again. Fuck it. It's iconic. Here we go. It's epic. You see the cavities in her teeth and shit? Here's Forey.
You ain't just in here by yourself, boy.
Boy.
How many movies have we watched with Ken Forey in it? A couple, right?
At least a few, yeah.
I think my favorite's probably The Devil's Rejects when he shows up at the end of that. It's bomb.
Bro.
Knock it in.
Knock it in.
Oh, it's so good. They're everywhere.
Dude, that scene right there, Resident Evil completely lifted.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, right.
You know, Resident Evil 2 was my introduction to zombies and horror. Like, that video game scared the shit out of me.
Oh, interesting.
Bodies.
This is a cool scene. Well, this was horrifying for me, watching them the way they wiggled in those. They're in their
The body
like
bags or
cocoons,
whatever
the
they
body
are.
bags, and they're
Yeah.
wiggling around. It's so disturbing.
All right, watch
I was
this.
pretty bummed, man. I thought you were gonna start playing drowning pool.
Yeah, I did too, dude. The body did the floor.
Or at least play the clip of the parakeet doing it.
Wait, so the pastor was putting the people down there that were dying in the apartment complex? He was.
I
just
think
saving
the loved ones were. I think they say something to the extent of they were
there
dropping
was
them through
a
the chute.
lot of fucking people.
Yeah, they were dropping them through the chute, I think is what they were doing. Which is even scarier because that means they dropped somebody alive down there because they were chewing away at
eating
somebody.
him.
Yeah. Sig's lips don't move. This is important to watch when he goes, "Hey, you got any cigarettes?" His lips don't move at all.
Hey, you guys got cigarettes?
Did you see that?
He's chewing gum.
I love
That's
that.
funny.
They say they don't have any, and then they immediately light up. They're just like,
That's hilarious.
Ken Forey's like, motherfucker. Brothers.
You know, real brothers or street brothers?
Like, how many?
Just like to know who everybody is.
I like that
They
one.
trying to fuck.
Synth music. I love this synth music. Here we
Dude, the
go.
synth music's dope.
Is that Dario Argento? Didn't he do some of it?
Is that true?
He Argento insisted. Here's another IMDb fact, David. Argento insisted when he heard this idea that Romero come out to like, where is he from?
Italy.
Italy. There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
And basically he's like, come out to my house in Italy and write undistracted so you can like give it your all in this. and apparently Argento would read the like pages, but like he just let them be, and like it was all Romero's words. So, but yeah, he like even offered up his home to like give him that like writer's retreat.
Yeah, because he was like a producer on. I swear, I think he did some of the score too.
Argento did Zombie, right? That's like his movie, right?
No, I think that's somebody else. Dario Argento is Suspiria.
Okay.
He is more of the really artsy fartsy Italian horror movies. But I don't think he did Zombie. I think that was another Italian filmmaker, and Zombie is brutal. Holy shit, that's a fucking gory one.
Right on.
Water.
Rednecks. Now this is true, but the problem is they're not rednecks; they're hillbillies.
Those rednecks are probably enjoying.
Yeah, but these are actually just people. Like they just got like basically put out like an open call for anybody in the area to come out. It's like, hey, gun owners, we need you, and they're like, we got you, boo.
Bro, these are my people.
You rewind it a little bit. You see a Trump Pence sign, right?
You're not wrong.
Music was by the Goblins and Dario Argento.
Great name.
Like I said, these are my people, Western Pennsylvania, right here. That looks like a family reunion to me.
This scene is almost a direct like callback to the ending of the first film, where all the people are out hunting zombies. And
you know what? Yeah, it almost feels like a continuation in some ways.
Mm-hmm. The natural build.
I like this. I missed him.
That's Tom Murphy.
It is Tom Murphy. Bring it here. Guns!
Never aim a gun at anyone, mister.
Well, I'll aim one at you.
Peter, my God, what are you doing?
Scary, isn't it?
The mall!
What the hell is it?
Looks like a shopping center, one of those big indoor malls.
I like how they felt the need to explain to the audience what it was.
There's a bunch,
that was so funny.
There's a bunch of ADR in this movie, especially Flyboy. There's moments where his mouth is just covered, and they ADR the shit out of him.
It's so weird. What is this structure?
Some kind of instinct, memory of what they used to do.
Pennies before it was J.C. Penney's.
Yeah.
When did they add the JC? I thought it was always J.C. Penney's. Did it get bought out or something?
They merged with J.C. Target. I don't know.
Keys to the Kingdom.
Keys to the Kingdom.
That was pretty quick. Western PA accent. She says rough. It's a Western PA thing.
Up to the roof.
Yeah. Home is home. Phone is phone. Roof is rough. Slide. There we go. I like how he grabs a gun just in time.
Okay, another fun IMDb thing. George A. Romero talks about how he thinks they might be responsible for malls adding those little bumpers to the bottom of those escalators. No joke.
Because everyone started mimicking that, huh?
Right. Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Flyboy equals dipshit. I'm gonna get you. Oh shit. I'm out of here.
Run, bitch. Run.
Tambourine, but no sound. This kept bugging me. I don't know if this is like a Mooney or what this character is, a Buddhist or.
It's really the perfect.
It's a Hare Krishna.
Oh, a Hare Krishna? Is that what
Hare Krishna, yeah.
But like the tambourine makes no sound whatsoever.
That boom mic wasn't close enough to it, I guess.
Come on, it would have at least jangled a little bit. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Head up.
Get his head up, man!
Oh, it's a great one.
Nice.
Lady cursing.
Motherfucking sons of bitches.
Going crazy.
You better screw your head on.
Yeah, come on. Let's go!
I mean it, man. Now, you're not just playing with your life, you're playing with mine. Now, are you straight?
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Gay
I'm
as hell.
I'm curious.
He's bite curious right there. Oh, got him. Yeah, the infection.
His leg is awful. The infection's spreading quickly. Can't we do something? Can't we take him to a med unit?
Hell no.
I've seen half a dozen guys get bitten by those things. None of them lasted more than 3 days.
Once again, I love that it gives you like a time frame on things like that.
I also like how he's hiding awkwardly behind a lamp when he says that.
The arcade. This is an old school arcade. Is that some Star Trek I saw?
I played all those games.
Yeah? Which
I
was your
played all,
favorite?
yep. My favorite is the one that spun around. I forget what it was called. I forget. My brain's not working.
Right here, it has a weird thing where, like, I don't know if the game name's playing or if he's having like a psychedelic, like changing into a zombie trick. Like,
that's a game.
Yeah, what was that all about?
He was crashing.
He wrecked.
Oh. Great shot. Love this shot. This looks like a badass shot. Look at that. Roger dies.
You take care of me when I go.
We're not fighting.
This
is not the Republicans
that's crazy.
versus the Democrats. They've got us in the hole economically. We're in another. At least let him finish.
I always thought they showed the gunshot in the blood splatter.
Emotional, damn it.
That guy was a Fox News talking head before.
He kind of looks like the director of Apocalypse Now.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Being a bitch.
Hey.
Great, and when you finish the roll, we'll drop it off at the drugstore.
Oh, you fucking bitch. Stop ruining it.
Then he throws a camera at her.
Well, immediately after they had that scene where they're laying in bed, obviously they just had sex and they can't stand each other, and they do that slow pan away, and I love that, but of course I couldn't clip it because of the boobies. But it's just one of those things where I love that shot of just like they are totally disgusted with each other. Losing her mind.
Looking like Harley Quinn.
I would love,
Their eyes are beautiful.
I would
She's
love
fine.
to make a horror movie and copy that right there with like the Killers or something like that, and just as an
And
homage
fuck
to
it.
that little thing. Yeah, probably. I'd fuck my movie. People who don't share don't.
We don't like people that don't share. You just fucked up.
Everybody cheers.
Let's go.
Yeah, he won't cheer. Yeah.
Hey, fags! It's a reference to South Park. Okay, calm down.
Let's just let them fight it out.
It took her down.
I enjoy.
They sure are
this.
craving attention.
I enjoy the pie part. I don't know why.
Yeah,
so
that music
stupid.
is insane.
Yeah.
And then they pickpocket the guy.
Yeah.
I just love that they had this scene from like the 1930s of wacky coconut pot cream
Yeah,
pies.
and then they have like
just sitting around.
They're shooting
It
seltzer
was like,
water.
you know how sometimes other directors come in, like did Mel Brooks come in and just shoot that scene for the day? You know what would be good here? A good old fashioned pie fight.
Yeah, dude. In the deleted scenes, you see a zombie slip on a banana field.
And as they're running away, two guys carrying a giant pane of glass walk in front of it, and the car smashes right into it. And then one of them says, "Not this again."
And then the guy's playing the piano in the corner, right?
Yeah, and then the piano falls on somebody.
The piano bar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Savini kick, or
I got
as we
lost for
call
a
it, the
second.
cock drop. Cock drop.
Say goodbye, creep.
Do you think this character and the character from Dusk Till Dawn are related in any way?
It's
Dude,
the
I
same.
was, I almost
same
brought it up
guy.
earlier.
It's
I
the
almost
same
brought it up
guy.
earlier.
Yeah, but are they like twins or something in like the mythos of it?
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like-
Tom Savini's just more of a makeups guy and less of an actor.
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, if you notice in his crotch, you can see that gun that he had in the
From
other
Dusk Till
movie.
Looking
Dawn.
at his scratch.
Which I think is great because Crux was like
That's a
either
great
Dawn of the
stop.
Dead or from Dusk Till Dawn. So you must be a huge Tom Savini gore fan, is what it is. So, because I believe he did the gore factor in the from Dusk Till Dawn too. Bam, bitch.
That's a good one.
Do you think Savini demands a role when he does the makeup, or is it he's on movies that are just like, God damn it, we need somebody to fill in this spot. Tom, can you do it?
Yeah, I gotcha. I've heard he's a real prick too. He's like real.
Savini?
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've never heard that.
This is another great thing. I was on a dating app once. Back to the dating apps, Crux. Yeah, podcast we were talking about.
Only Savini's.
And there was this girl who had a mustache on, like posted on her face, right? And so I matched with her and I started talking to her. She made a documentary about how Tom Savini was her hero, and that's why she always wore the fake mustache on her face, because she looked up to him so much. And she actually got to meet him, and it was the most awkward meeting of two people you will ever see on celluloid. So it was great.
And then she fucked you.
Yes, she did, with the mustache on. Savini dead.
Did her strap-on also have a mustache?
Yes.
Or just
Oh! He falls the other way.
Son of a bitch.
Tommy gun. Why didn't he turn around?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh no, one of the Ramones just died.
The blood pressure.
I know, this is so weird. Let me check my thing. What the hell? That is such a weird choice.
Guts. Oh yeah.
I agree with, I think it was David on that one. He probably is just looking around the mall and he's like, we got to use it all.
I know.
Do you know what the guts are? They made it like chicken or something like that. Was it in the IMDb?
I'm glad that you froze right on the swastika, Duck. Good job.
Oh, my bad. I missed it. Yummy.
Hey, but no shit, I could have been an actor back in the 70s.
Yeah, some of it was pretty bad, dude.
Raph, you were just an actor last weekend. What are you talking about?
Yeah, bro, you'd be an actor in the 2020s.
Didn't you play a Confederate soldier or something like that?
I already found out when it comes out. I think 2025. That's when that commercial's gonna air.
2025?
Yeah, it's for a fucking museum, but I can't talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, NDA. You gotta sign an NDA, didn't you, bro?
Podcast, dude.
You gotta sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got some awesome pictures that girl sent me, and then I asked the director if I could post them, and he's like, "Please don't." I'm like, "Fuck!" I'm glad I asked you, because I made one of those collages, and I was about to hit send. Like, nah, let me go ahead.
Let me ask. Smart move.
Don't do that. Robot Chicken actually plays this music. If you like Robot Chicken.
Seriously though, that's a mall, dude. I mean, it's a little off, but it still very much looks like a mall.
Yeah. I mean, it is a mall. They filmed in the Monroeville Mall.
I'm just saying, malls haven't changed in 50 years.
Oh yeah, yeah,
like,
you're right.
That's crazy.
Flyboy is the best zombie, hands down. Yes, give me a fucking Toony Terrors of that son of a bitch.
That's pretty good, man.
He's so cool looking. And that gun just hanging on.
Then he kicks that bitch right in the crotch.
Oh, he's awesome.
So, I don't know if y'all saw the black zombies. All they did was cross their eyes. I don't know why. All the black zombies just had their eyes crossed. I don't know if somebody told them to do that, but it was ridiculous.
I really also love how we're watching the extended version, because it includes when they have all the zombies attend a brief timeshare seminar.
Yeah, you knew this mall was going to close soon because an art gallery popped up.
That was the first painting right there that they put up. Suana. We ain't doing it. We ain't committing no suicide. Fuel.
How much fuel do we have?
We don't.
Not much.
Luckily,
right,
a man explained to me how to gas up earlier, so we're good.
All right, that is
I
Dawn
love
of the Dead.
I love the ending that's just leaves it open. You know,
yeah, and the third movie has nothing to do with it. It doesn't answer any questions.
No.
You never find out.
The third movie was filmed in my hometown of Fort
nice.
Myers, Florida. Yeah, I got to watch the filming of it. It was super cool.
Which one was that? Day of the Dead?
Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead.
Okay,
Yeah, filmed in Fort Myers, Florida, and Sanibel Island. Which I was so pissed because when I watched it, in the movie, and it's like so fucking stupid. They're in Florida and they're in caves. There's no fucking caverns in Florida, you dumb fuck. It's like it was such the easiest thing to figure out, but they're like,
wait,
we're gonna
there's
be in
no
Florida.
like caverns with like pirates' gold or anything in Florida?
The kind of caverns that are in Florida are, first of all, they're underwater and they're small as shit, and you get stuck and die in them. There's no giant, huge caverns under Florida, and I just thought that was the stupidest fucking thing. Anyway, it was cool how they took downtown Fort Myers and they shut it off and they turned it into like a zombie apocalypse, and we got to go down there and take pictures.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was really, really fucking cool. But yeah, I love that it ended with like you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They never continue the story. You have no idea what happened to those characters. It's all up to your imagination from that point. They probably didn't make it. Let's face it. Come on, it's a long way. It's a long way to Canada. All right, recommendations. First recommendation is going to be Dead Alive because I love it. We've already watched it for the cast, but it's like one of my favorite movies of all time. When it comes to zombies, it goes Dawn of the Dead, Dead Alive, and then this other pick that I'm going to throw out there, which is Return of the Living Dead Part 3. God damn it, do I love this movie.
This is a fun movie.
Thing?
Yeah.
This is a thing? I had no idea this
Dude,
was
it's got the hottest. Look at her. Wait, look at this redhead. She's so hot, and she's a zombie, and the way she survives is by piercing herself. So by the end of the movie, she just got piercings going through her tits and stuff like that.
Bro, if this Dawn of the Dead is a representation of the 1970s, this is a representation of the 1990s. Like it's so good.
This one, and I would argue that in terms of just being purely just straight up scary, the beginning of that movie where they have the zombie that's strapped down with those like cloth restraints, and then the guy sticks his fingers in the mouth, he bites it, and he takes over. That's the one, right? Where he escapes. That shit is so scary, dude, because that zombie looks scary as fuck. And like that whole scene is really fucking scary.
We're gonna watch it at some point. Like I said, this is my top tier zombie movies. I absolutely love this movie.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
David, I think you'll like this movie, honestly.
Yeah,
no, it looks cool. I'm into it.
It's pretty good, and she's smoking.
You had me at redhead.
Yeah. Does anyone have any recommendations?
Yeah, my favorite zombie movies would be I Am Legend and 28 Days Later.
Does I Am Legend count?
Do you think that's a zombie movie?
I think so. They get sick, they turn into fast. Yeah, I consider it a zombie movie.
Yeah, okay.
And we watched 28 Days Later, so definitely awesome movie. Any other recommendations from anyone? Good, Miles.
Yeah, I was gonna say Day of the Dead, but we brought that up.
Yeah, Day of the Dead, but Day of the Dead is great. So. I mean, it's considered
Bub.
lesser.
I love Bub. There's a great scene at the end of Day of the Dead when the big bad guy gets eaten alive. And what happened was they had a Christmas break, and all the refrigerator that the pig guts were in broke down over the holiday. And when they shot it, they still had to use the pig guts, and it was rotten. And there's a great a cutaway scene or like a deleted scene that shows it after the director goes cut, and all the zombies and the actor almost throw up.
Oh wow!
Because the zombie actors are having to put it in their mouth. And that was fucking nasty. I would like to recommend and it's not finished yet, but I think this is the greatest zombie series so far that I've ever seen. Last of Us. Even though I know technically they're not zombies, but they kind of act like zombies. But Last of Us is fucking amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Miles, what you got?
Dude, David actually just jumped on one of my three. The Last of Us is incredible so far.
Check it out.
It's an incredible video game, and the series has done an incredible job of adapting it so far. Speaking of video games, I'm going to say this might be controversial. Best zombie video game of all time embodies this movie. It's Dead Rising. It basically lets you live out the fantasy of what would you do if you were trying to survive a zombie apocalypse and you were in a mall and you just have what's available to you to try to survive.
It's so over the top. It's crazy.
It's so silly and so fun and so this pays a lot of homage to this film. And then the last one, I said earlier, I absolutely recommend this version of the film if you've never seen it before. But the truth is, if you just want a more fun version of it, the Snyder cut is ironically shorter by about 40 minutes. And it's maybe just because the zombies run. And that's what like the rest of the time is for. Is
guys, we got an incoming. We got incoming.
But yeah, remake Zack Snyder's version of Dawn of the Dead is my other recommendation.
And it's so polar opposite to this one because this one's slow paced. That one is just like breakneck pace. You know
but it tells the same story just at 2 different speeds.
And Sarah Polley is amazing in it.
Incredible, yeah.
All right,
what's up, Javi? What do you got?
I also like the ending better on the remake. I won't lie. I love the
I love it. The found footage
island thing. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's cool. Yeah.
Javi, what is up? Number one. Secondly, what do you think of Dawn of the Dead 1978? Did you ever see it?
Dawn of the Dead 1978 is fucking amazing. The dad from Kenan and Kel was in it.
Yes.
Yes. I loved it so much. And he lived.
Yes.
That's a true fact because like in the first one, the character who was black dies. In this one, he lives. So that's awesome. Killing it. All right, guys, with that said, let's start with Hobbs. Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me by art at on TikToks and Instagram at Javi Bear Studios.
Right on. David, where can they find you on the internet?
Stop Motion Nightmares on the Facebook, Children of Dave on the gram. This Thursday, I'll be at Hyenas in Dallas, and March 25th, I'll be selling my creepy art at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo at K. Bailey Hutchinson.
Hell yeah, dude! That Bioshock thing that you made is so cool. I love that. So.
Thanks. I added a light to it, so I'll send it to you.
That is awesome. Miles, where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere at Mr. Most Days Off, and I'll be performing twice, both Tuesday and Wednesday, at Plano House of Comedy this week.
Very nice, dude. Very nice. Raph, where can they find you?
At Little House on the Parody, and you can catch me at Shihiro Sushi and Bar March 24, and my comedy debut at Hyenas March 30th.
Hell yeah.
Raph, you're running an open mic now, right? Is that the sushi place?
It's actually karaoke, and any comic that comes, I'll give them 5 minutes afterwards.
I love karaoke.
It's fantastic. It's
awesome.
at Frida's Taco Cuisine and Bar in Cedar Hill, and that's every Wednesday from 7 to 11.
Right on. Crux, first of all, we got to mention the podcast. Crux, yeah!
Crux, yeah!
Which me and Raph were on recently, and then you had an episode just dropped with Shiva today, I believe. Where can they find you on the internet?
Yeah, so the Crux Yeah podcast, and then you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Crux Crawford. That's at CRUX Crawford because there's no other name like it. And then David, I'm going to be hosting for you at Hyenas Dallas.
Awesome, man! Super fun, dude.
And I will be hosting at Fort Worth for the weekend. So Dallas Thursday, Fort Worth for the rest of the weekend.
Fuck yeah,
dude! It's Fort Worth is. I mean, both clubs are fun, but I just love Fort Worth because you can take a shower in the green room.
Yeah, true.
That's awesome. Well, you can find us at wearepodcast.podbean.com where you can find all the podcasts. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at /wearepodcast. And you can find us every Monday for Camp /Horrorcast where we talk horror movies from the past live at 8 p.m. Central here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, I believe it is. Next week is David's pick. David, what are you picking? I forgot. You were going with Megan, but you changed it.
Yeah, I was going with Megan. I changed it to Men.
Ooh, right on. I wanted to see
excited to see it, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I will get that going. All right, guys, with that said, keep horror in your heart. Keep it in your heart, motherfucker.
I forgot to ask y'all, what do you prefer, fast or slow zombies?
Oh, yeah, I like both.
The fast. That's why I like 28 days later.
It makes me feel like I can live a little bit longer.
I got a chance. Oh, that's awesome.
Probably like someone from Night of the Living Dead. Those super slow ones.
Give me those super slow ones. I want something that I can outwalk.
But like, it's the same rule as sports, dude. I want to watch people who do things I can't do. So like, I want to watch fast zombies. If I'm trying to survive, I'm gonna need extra slow zombies.
It's a really funny. That's a funny bit, Javi. I want a zombie that I can outwalk.
Yeah. All right. With that said, I'm gonna cut the feed. Bye.
And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp /Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv /We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com /We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore, heroes, Gyros, a dungeons and distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.